Anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all. There is an old proverb, you don't hear it very often, but it's been out there. More haste, less speed. How often have we heard this proverb used, which dates to pre-Christian times and was an expression commonly used by Emperor Augustus, who lived from 63 BC to AD 14. He even stressed its message of good leadership through specifically minted coins, showing a hare, rabbit, inside the shell of a snail. Try to imagine that. And although the proverb is more than 2,000 years old, people today still understand its meaning and frequently use it in ordinary conversation. And that's the beauty of Proverbs. Their wisdom crosses the boundaries of time, space, religion, language, and culture. Proverbs teach us in ways that are easy to remember and make sense to the speaker and to the listener. Today in that first reading, we hear St. James describe wisdom as pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, without uncertainty or insincerity. But wisdom is not foolish. And have you ever heard of it being unkind, selfish, or unthinking? Even when wisdom is difficult to listen to, it's not meant to be hurtful. And this is the beauty of today's gospel. Jesus is tactful and understanding at a time when he could have been critical and outspoken. A Persian proverb declares, "With a sweet tongue of kindness, you can drag an elephant by a hair." Imagine reaching over to the hide of an elephant, grabbing hold of a single hair, and then pulling it along. I don't know that I'd want to try that, but there's that imagery. In his wisdom, Jesus recognized the limitations of his disciples. As their leader and shepherd, he worked slowly and gently, supporting them even in their moments of thoughtless insensitivity towards him. Here he is trying to have a private moment, so he's kind of sneaking out of town with them so he can have the seclusion of privacy to share with them that he's going to be terribly abused and killed, but then he's going to rise. But he can tell from their lack of responsiveness, they ain't listening. They're quibbling, they're arguing, they're dialoguing over which one of them is the most important one in the group. As I said, in today's gospel, Jesus has just told his disciples about his forthcoming death, trying to prepare them for the horrendous events which were fast approaching. It was an extremely difficult moment for him. And yet, instead of being supportive or asking for further explanations, his companions, the apostles, argued about their personal status in the group. Had they seriously reflected upon true greatness and leadership when each decided that he uniquely fitted the job description? And when Jesus overheard them, did he sadly quote from the book of Proverbs, "The mouths of fools pour out folly"? No. He was patient. He was gentle. He was kind. Jesus didn't need to boast about his abilities and identity, which shone through all that he said and did. Neither was he bragging about courage when he told his companions about his forthcoming horrific death. A true hero is often silent about his or her bravery in a situation where other people are too afraid to even act. The person who lets everybody know about their gallantry was possibly not very brave and, at best, lacking in humility. Jesus used this situation as a teaching session on leadership and greatness. The best guide shows the way by their example, and the greatest person leads by their service of others. Jesus illustrated his words with a child, one of the world's most defenseless, insignificant people. Those who protect and defend our society's least, last, and lost will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. As St. John would later write in his gospel, the truth is a heavy burden that few care to carry. We criticize the disciples for their insensitivity and self-interest as they argued over who was the greatest among them, rather than supporting Jesus after he told them of his impending death. And yet we can look back and wish that we had said or done things differently in one situation or another. If we're honest, every one of us would make that admission. We're also concerned with our own interests and want to be recognized by others for our good qualities. We understand the importance of Jesus telling us to look after children who are in so many ways in need of care and protection. But would we look on children as role models in leadership? What happens if someone whom I consider less capable than I am is given a position of seniority over me? The very least that I will do is to grumble to myself and possibly to my loved ones when I reach home. How likely is it that I will congratulate that person in sincerity and willingness to follow wherever he or she will lead? He that would be a leader must be a bridge. So declared King Bran the Blessed in Welsh mythology as he made himself the bridge across the river Newark so that his soldiers could rescue his sister Branwen from her brutal husband Matholwich. Jesus made himself our bridge in showing us the meaning of true leadership and service. Jesus was and is our hero. So we let ourselves be asked, am I prepared to imitate him and become a bridge for others?